Okay, today we're going to talk about multiplying rational numbers. Before we do that, I just want to remind you of a vocab word. The word is product. Wow, that's not what I want. Okay, word is product. You will see questions that say, oh, find the product. The product is just basically the answer to a multiplication question. Answer to a multiplication problem. Just like when we have the word sum, that's the answer to an addition problem, and difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. The word product is the answer to a multiplication problem. Okay, now I also want to review some types of multiplication symbols that you're going to see. So types of multiplication symbols. Okay, so first is just the regular x that we're used to. So we can say like 4 times 5, like this, with the little x there. Okay, we know 4 times 5 is 20. But we'll see the x. We will also see 4 times 5 with a little dot like that. That little dot, I like using that little dot. It's a lot quicker than writing an x. So 4 with a little dot there also means 4 times 5. We can also say 4 times 5 with just parentheses, with nothing really in between the 4 and the 5 here. The parentheses mean multiply. And you might also see, so most of the time you'll see the parentheses on the second number. Sometimes you can also see the parentheses on both numbers, 4 times 5 like this. And sometimes you'll see it on the first number. But it's not as common, but it still means 4 times 5. And finally, we will see 4 times 5 with a little asterisk at the top. The asterisk is just a little star that most of the time we will see when we're typing on the computer. There's not really a good other way to show times. I mean, you could put like a little X, but it's not always clear because it looks like the letter X because it is the letter X. So the way that we show multiplication when we're typing is with that little asterisk or the star there. Okay, and now we're going to talk about the rule for multiplying and dividing rational numbers because they're actually the same. So the rule for multiplying or dividing rational numbers. Okay, so if we are multiplying two numbers that have the same sign, so if we're multiplying numbers with the same sign, the answer is going to be positive. The answer is going to be positive. So for example, we're just going to use what we used above, 4 times 5. 4 times 5, positive 4 times positive 5, that is a positive 20. Or if we had a negative 4 times a negative 5, that is also a positive 20. So anytime numbers, when we're multiplying, when they have the same signs, your answer is going to be positive. But if the numbers that we're multiplying have opposite signs, our answer is going to be negative. So if, for example, if we have 4 times negative 5, that's going to be negative 20. It's also the same if we have negative 4 times 5. The answer there is still negative 20. Okay, let's see. So let's think about this with a little bit of a word problem. The example that we have here, I'm gonna say, let's say Jocelyn borrows $5 from her mom every day from Monday to Thursday. I'm just going to abbreviate Thursday. So Jocelyn borrows $5 from her mom every day from Monday to Thursday. So Monday to Thursday is 4 days. We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And she's borrowing $5. The way that we show that she's borrowing $5 is with a negative 5. So she's borrowing $5. That means that's a negative 5. And she's doing it 4 days. So negative 5 times 4. So by the end of the week, or by the time she gets to Friday, she's gonna owe her mom negative $20. Okay, so when we're thinking about, when we first learned about multiplication, so let's say we have like 4 times 5 still. We can show this as 4 groups of 5, or we can show it as 5 groups of 4. The 4 groups of 5 and 5 groups of 4, they're equal to the same thing. We've got 5, 10, 15, 20, or 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, like that. Okay? But if we're talking about multiplying a negative number and a positive number, like negative 5 times 4, we can't really have negative groups. So we can really only visualize this as 4 groups of negative 5. And so this is like saying negative 5 plus negative 5 plus negative 5. Whoa, that looks kind of crazy. Plus negative 5. And when we add these together, well, we know that negative 5 and negative 5 is negative 10. And then negative 5 and negative 5 over here is negative 10. We still need to add them together. And negative 10 and negative 10 is negative 20. So this is just another way to show how when we're adding, or when we're multiplying a positive number and a negative number, we get a negative answer. Okay, so we're gonna look at an example of multiplying 2 negative numbers together by using the integer card game. Integer card game. This, if we were meeting in person, then you guys would be familiar with the integer card game. But basically, you guys get cards with different numbers on them, and you add them together and you play a couple rounds of cards, and your goal is to try to get different different numbers or close to 0 or whatever. Okay, so let's say you have a hand. A hand is just like how many cards you have in your hand of cards, and the cards that you have in your hand are -2, -2, -2, so 3 -2s, a 4, and an 8. Okay, so the idea of this game is to find the total of all these cards. So the total of all these cards, well, we have -2 plus -2 plus -2 plus 4 plus 8. So this is like this to find the sum of all this stuff, to find the total. Well, we can say that this here is like saying, well, there's 1, 2, 3 -2s. So we could say that this is the same as saying 3 times -2 plus 4 plus 8. And we know that 3 times -2 is -6. So -6 plus 4 plus 8, and -6 and 4 is -2 plus 8. And we know, based on our rules of addition, that -2 plus 8 is 6. Okay, so this is the total of all the cards in your hand right now. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is you're going to discard or get rid of 3 cards that show -2. So you have 3 cards in your hand that show -2. The way that we can show that is by saying -3, because we're taking away these 3 cards that show, and we're going to say times -2. Okay, so according to the rules of multiplication, -3 times -2, it's going to be a positive number. So 3 times 2 is 6. So this is how much, that number 6 is how much our total up here should change by. So let's check that. So this is how much our total should change by. So let's see. So if we went back up, well, let me just draw them down here again. We have -2, -2, -2, what was it, 4 and 8. Okay, so if we're discarding, we're gonna discard these 3 cards that show -2. We're gonna get rid of them. And that means we only have these 2 numbers to find the total of. So we've got the total 4 plus 8, and we know 4 plus 8 is 12. So let's look, is this number here? Well, we know that that's right because this number here is 6 more than what we got up here. So with the -2s, our total is 6. And then when we discarded these -2s, we took out the -2s, our total should have increased by 6. And we know that it did because 6 and 6 is 12. Okay, so now I want you guys to try some out on your own. So try it out. First one, let's do 2 times -12. Let's do -4 times -4. That's a minus sign. That's not a minus sign, that was a multiplication sign. Let me just write that over again. -4 times -4. Let's do 3 times -2. How about, let's do a rational one with an irrational number. So 2.3 times 4. And last but not least, how about -5 times -8. Okay, go. So I want you guys to try these out on your own. In Schoology, I will post the answers, and I'm also gonna post a notes check for you to turn in Schoology when you are done with these notes. Okay? Good luck.